In 1940, American writer John Steinbeck embarked upon a 6-month voyage for scientific exploration of the Sea of Cortez. It is his account of that journey that he chronicles in his book, The Sea of Cortez. Now, we're going to repeat his journey. We're Ingrid and Jim. After leaving our boat Indigo behind in Seattle and sailing down the Pacific coast of Baja with friends Peter and Nicky, the 4 of us are now following in Steinbeck's footsteps, north of the Sea of Cortez to each of his documented anchorages to see for ourselves how Steinbeck's descriptions hold up today, over 80 years later. We're in Puerto Escondido Marina, just loading our gear on the boat, and we're going to be heading out about 4 o'clock and motor till 10 a.m. tomorrow. We're heading to Santa Rosalia. Sailing aboard Resolute, a 50-foot Beneteau, the ghosts of Steinbeck's writings will follow us for the next 10 days. And after our first overnight passage, we pull into Santa Rosalia, even though Steinbeck sailed on by.
We did not stop at Santa Rosalia. It's a fairly large town which has long been supported by copper mines in the neighborhood and under the control of a French company. And it looked, from the sea at least, to be less Mexican than other towns. Perhaps it was because we knew it was run by a French company.
While it seemed Mexican to us, there were signs of its French past.
But Santa Rosalia looked built.
Super prefab, you can build it in Paris or any place and ship over.
Including a famous church designed by French engineer Gustave Eiffel and imported piece by piece in 1897 from France.
This is what outside is all metal.
The mountains rose behind the town, burned almost white, and the green about the houses and the red roofs were in startling contrast.
Glad we stopped in Santa Rosalia, but now it's off to Steinbeck's next anchorage, north.
This morning, we left Bahia Rosalita at the crack of dawn, and now it's about a 12-hour trip up to Bahia San Francisquito. Our expectation is we're going to be motoring the entire day.
Motoring and unsuccessfully fishing on a long, uneventful passage.
There's absolutely no wind. It is as still as it can possibly be.
At 6 p.m., we made anchorage at San Francisquito Bay. This cove-like bay is about 1 mile wide and points to the north. We anchored in 4 fathoms of water on the westerly side of the bay, then went ashore immediately. The wind was blowing, and the water was painfully cold.
We are in Bahia San Francisco. Bahia San Francisco. Bahia San Francisco. No, Bahia San Francisco. No, what is it?
San Francisquito.
San Francisco.
You haven't even had a drink yet.
San Francisco. We are in Bahia San Francisquito, right?
The beach was hot and yellow. We went inland along the ridge between the beach and a large mangrove-edged lagoon beyond. On the lagoon side of the ride, there were thousands of burrows, presumably of large land crabs, but it was hopeless to dig them out. The shorts of the lagoon teemed with the little clicking, bubbling fiddler crabs and estuarian snails.
So where are we, Jim?
San Francisquito. San Francisquito.
And like Steinbeck, we too headed out to explore a cove he wrote about on the other side of the Bahia.
In the southern part of the bay, there's a pretty little cove with a narrow entrance between two rocky points. A beach of white sand edges this cove.
We made it to the little hidden cove and determined that it's too shallow for us to come in on our boat because we have a 9.5-foot draft.
9.6.
Okay, well, good thing we didn't go for it. You can't really trust the charts because the chart depth, at least, is not accurate in a lot of these places.
And on the edge of the beach, there was a poor Indian house. No one came out of the house. Perhaps the inhabitants were away, or sick, or dead. We did not go near. Indeed, we had a strong feeling of intrusion.
While some things seem completely unchanged, as we head out to continue our journey north, the words of Steinbeck, as we read his book along the way, also remind us of how much this land and sea have changed. As we soon discover for ourselves upon reaching our next anchorage, Bahia Alcaron.
Off to the new adventure.
Going to shore.
Perched along the shore of a beautiful white sand beach, inside a perfectly protected crested bay, now lies a truly unique eco-lodge, owned and run by Kevin Warren.
Yeah, I do all-inclusive packages for a week, and we come down from San Diego and then boat out here and all the meals and all the activities, and we snorkel with the sea lions and whale watch and sail and dive and just do all kinds of stuff.
It's like glamorous camping.
Oh, it's nice.
Beautiful.
The lodge is only accessible by boat and is available year-round. But this appeared to us to be the perfect time of year to visit and explore this unique landscape.
It's beautiful. It's probably, 75 degrees and nice breeze and not too hot, not too cold. And I love it because it's there are hardly any cruisers up this far, so you might get 1 or 2 boats in a bay or none at all.
And even as the inhabitants here have changed since Steinbeck visited, his descriptions of the landscape still applied.
The country hereabouts was stony and barren, and even the brush had thinned out.
But it was time again to move on.
Voila.
On Monday, we sailed for Angelus Bay, which was to be our last station on the peninsula.
This morning, again, the wind is going to play a part in how things go today. Right now, we've got 1 knot of wind, and up ahead of us, we'll see, 20, maybe more.
Angelus Bay is very large, 25 square miles, the coast pilot says. It's landlocked by 15 islands, between several of which there's entrance depth.
All right, after getting 30 knots of wind on our way out to our planned anchorage, time to turn around, head back to someplace a little more protected, and we can see it up ahead. The color of the water is a light blue, meaning we're back down to the 0 to 1 knots up ahead.
The anchorage on the western part of the bay, it says, is safe from all winds.
Okay, we're going to shore.
Where are we? I know this is called Playa Blanca.
Este es Playa Blanca, un restaurante con 4.5 stars. Estrella. 4.5 estrella.
We've been tooling around the bay, sightseeing, and I noticed this on Google, so we dropped anchor and came to shore.
The tourisms that come here is by boat mainly because the whale sharks area here. So
So they go look at whale sharks and they bring them over here.
yeah, in front of here around June 1st into October. It's around 8 months, and then they go to La Paz.
We're gonna go explore another beach right next door, and there's a beach wrecked boat on the shore. So, of course, the guys need to go check that out. What happened to the boat?
It was from an American, and many years ago, and then she has a problem with the boat was complete and nice, and then the people start to just doing things from the boat, and now it's like an icon of the beach.
Being stranded here on this deserted island. We're gonna have to wait for a rescue.
Yeah.
Just around the corner from Playa Blanca, we discovered an anchorage with a special reputation, hidden in the Rocky Hills, Puerto Don Juan. And once we dropped the hook, the real show began.
Everything appeared delightful. The tiny waves slid up and down the beach, hardly breaking at all. Out of the bay, the pelicans were fishing, flying along and then folding their wings and falling in their clumsy appearing dives, which nevertheless must be effective, else there would be no more pelicans.
All these birds here, there's no bird poop on the boat. They don't even care about this boat. They didn't care about the drone when it flew. They totally leave us alone. It's been a long time coming, but we are finally fully under sail.
While we continue to scan the water, we never saw what Steinbeck saw.
Schools of leaping tuna all about us. And whenever we crossed the path of a school, our lines jumped and snapped under the strikes.
Then, after days of coming up with nothing but seaweed, Peter finally catches a fish.
Finally, we got fish.
Making you anticipate it.
Baja and the Sea of Cortez continued to surprise. Our next anchorage south,
Well, this is pretty.
may have been our most beautiful overnight stop yet. The Bay of San Juanico. And after spending the morning exploring the bay's rocks and caves, it's time to do our final passage back to Puerto Escondido.
We're sailing. Last day. Finally got the sails up.
We're on our way back. The last day. Got about 12 knots of wind. Nice angle. So we're gonna try to sail back the rest of the way. We got about 5 hours to go. And then it's back to Puerto Escondido, Loreto, and back to the Pacific Northwest. Back to Puerto Escondido.
Yes, back to the beautiful marina here.
At noon, we arrived at Puerto Escondido, the hidden harbor, a place of magic.
So take some showers, pack up, and head out home tomorrow morning.
A point swings about, making a small semicircular bay fringed with bright green mangroves. And only when one is turned inside this outer bay can one see that there's a second, secret bay beyond.
Back to life.
Back to the Pacific Northwest.
10 days actually living the book, The Sea of Cortez. And as Peter and Nicky head south to La Paz, we are headed north to Seattle and to our boat Indigo to sail another sea. For more of our adventures, click to subscribe and follow us and SV Resolute on Instagram.